Peace, soul family. Welcome to another episode of Live Beyond Boundaries. I am your host, Nadira, and I am grateful you've joined us on this journey towards spiritual growth and self-discovery. Today, we're diving into a profound and highly relevant topic: building spiritual resilience, fostering discipline, empowering ourselves through affirmations, and manifesting our deepest desires into reality. In this fast-paced modern world we live in, it's more important than ever to cultivate an inner sanctuary of resilience and discipline. Every day, we face a sea of distractions, stressors, and challenges that can easily pull us away from our center. That's where spiritual resilience comes in. It's the deep-seated strength that helps us stay anchored in our truth amidst life's storms. Discipline, on the other hand, is the key to consistency, longevity, and seeing transformative results in any journey. And our spiritual journey is no exception. It's the art of commitment, the practice of showing up for ourselves every day, even when it's challenging. And then we come to affirmations, those powerful, positive statements that can radically shift our mindset and perception of ourselves and the world around us. Affirmations act as a beacon of light, guiding us towards self-belief and positivity. Lastly, manifestation, the beautiful process of turning our inner dreams and aspirations into tangible reality. In a culture where we're increasingly encouraged to take agency over our own lives, understanding and utilizing manifestation is a skill that's not just beneficial but necessary for crafting the life we deserve. Together, these practices can guide us on a path towards deep spiritual growth, personal transformation, and success in manifesting our truest desires. Today, we're not just discussing these concepts, but we're diving deep into the practical tools and strategies you can use on your journey. Real actionable advice that can make a difference starting today. Let's get started. Before we dive into practical strategies and tools, it's essential to ensure that we all have a clear understanding of the core concepts we are exploring today. So let's start there. Defining spiritual resilience, discipline, affirmations, and manifesting. Spiritual resilience is the inner strength and flexibility that enables us to face life's adversities while maintaining our spiritual center. It's like a tree that bends in the wind but doesn't break. It's our ability to bounce back from challenges, maintain our faith, and discovering deeper meaning, even in the face of hardship or tragedy. Spiritual resilience helps us to find the courage to face our fears and challenges, and also find strength in our faith and spiritual practices. It is an essential part of our overall resilience and well-being. Resilience is not what happens to you. It's how you react to, respond to, and recover from what happens to you. This is the essence of spiritual resilience, to be able to find strength and hope in the face of adversity. It's the ability to find beauty and growth in the midst of pain and suffering. It's the power to remain resilient no matter what life throws at you. Discipline, especially in a spiritual context, is about consistency. It's the practice of engaging regularly and persistently in activities that nurture our spiritual well-being, such as meditation, prayer, or contemplative reading. It's not about punishment or harsh self-control, but about commitment and self-care. Over time, discipline creates a structure for us to grow and deepen our relationship with God. With it, we can cultivate a richer spiritual life and bring greater joy and peace to our lives. There are two types of spiritual disciplines: inward disciplines, which include ancient text study, prayer, meditation, and fasting. And also outward disciplines, which include service, solitude, submission, and simplicity. Both types of spiritual discipline can lead to a deeper connection with God and a closer relationship with self. They can also help us grow in our faith and lead more meaningful lives. Ultimately, spiritual discipline can help us become better versions of ourselves. Affirmations are positive, empowering statements we consciously choose to repeat to reshape our thoughts and attitudes. These might be about ourselves, our abilities, or the world around us. The goal is to replace negative thought patterns with positive ones. For example, instead of thinking, "I can't handle this," you might affirm, "I am capable and strong. I can handle whatever comes in my way." An affirmation is a declaration that something is true. In the context of self-improvement, an affirmation is a statement that affirms, strengthens, and empowers you. Affirmations are statements of belief that can help you to challenge and overcome self-sabotaging and negative thoughts. By repeating affirmations, you can condition your mind to believe in the truth of the words, which will help you create positive changes in your life. Lastly, manifesting. Manifesting is the process of turning our inner dreams and desires into external reality. Plain and simple. It's about focusing our thoughts, feelings, and actions on what we want to achieve or bring into our lives. This is based on the principle that like attracts like. It's the application of intention and mind power to shape our reality. By focusing our energy on positive thoughts and actions, we start to create the life we want. The process is based on the concept of the law of attraction, which states that whatever we think, whatever we feel, will be reflected to us in our lives. I mean, that's only just the surface, but you get the gist of it. It's the idea that spirituality and physical realities are intertwined, and that by focusing our attention and energy on positive affirmations, we can manifest our desired outcomes in the physical world. Now, you may wonder how these concepts connect and contribute to our personal and spiritual growth, but let's look at it this way. Imagine you're on a journey, a long hike up a mountain. Spiritual resilience is like your hiking boots, protecting you, helping you stand strong no matter how rough the terrain gets. Discipline is more so your map or compass, or both, your compass, your tools that keep you on track and guide you on your progress. Okay? Affirmations are your motivational mantras, positive self-talk that keeps you moving forward. And manifestation is the peak of the mountain, the tangible result of your effort and intention of this hike. By understanding and applying these concepts, you're equipping yourself for the journey, but also shaping the path and the destination. In our lives, these practices can help us to navigate challenges, maintain positivity, stay aligned with our true selves, and ultimately manifest the life that we truly desire. In the next segment, we'll look at some of the common challenges we face cultivating these practices and discuss practical, actionable strategies to overcome them. Okay, so having defined our key concepts in the previous segment, it's time to dig a little deeper. Let's examine common challenges that you might encounter while developing spiritual resilience, discipline, and using affirmations to manifest your desires. So let's look at some of the most common obstacles that people face when attempting to create positive changes in their lives. Then we'll discuss strategies for overcoming these obstacles and developing the right mindset for success. Finally, we'll explore how affirmations can be used to support spiritual resilience. One common challenge we face in spiritual resilience is the overwhelming feeling of despair or hopelessness. In spiritual resilience, one of the more common challenges we face is an overwhelming feeling of despair or hopelessness in the face of adversity. This can make us lose sight of our spiritual center. Let's take a practical example. Imagine a person who recently lost a loved one. This individual may feel themselves trapped, fighting with their spiritual beliefs, feeling adrift in a sea of their grief, loneliness, guilt, anger, despair. And even though studies have shown that such reactions are quite common, this can make it increasingly difficult to maintain resilience. It's like a person trying to stay above water in a turbulent sea. The waves may be powerful, and they can pound and pull them down. But with practice and perseverance, it is possible to stay afloat and make it to the other side. On a spiritual level, such challenges could make us question our faith, feel abandoned, or disconnect us from a higher power. To build spiritual resilience, one solution is to create or seek out a supportive community. This is perhaps a spiritual group or a counselor who respects your spiritual journey. Regular practices of mindfulness, meditation, and self-care can help strengthen your spiritual resilience over time. And we'll get into more details about these a little later in the episode. Next, discipline. This is often like an uphill battle, primarily because of distractions, the ever-present time crunch, or fluctuating motivation. Picture this. A busy working professional starts a meditation practice full of enthusiasm, but soon work pressure piles up and the practice falls by the wayside. Our prefrontal cortex, the part involved in planning, focus, and impulse control, it can struggle to maintain brand new habits when overwhelmed or stressed. Falling back into familiar patterns, it's usually how this ends up. So to keep this from happening, it helps to have a clear understanding on why this practice is important to you. This could be anything from reducing stress to improving concentration or creativity. It's important to understand what motivated you to start the practice in the first place and hold on to that feeling. Remember that understanding. It takes about an average of 66 days for a new behavior to become an automatic process. So stay with it. And every time you fall off, jump right back on. It's a new day and start again. A man who moves mountains begins by carrying away small stones. Confucius said that. But the good news is, just as we train our bodies, we can also train our discipline muscles. Start with small, achievable goals, such as meditating for 2 to 5 minutes each day. And over time, as your discipline increases, increase the time that you meditate. So moving into affirmations, a common challenge is a disconnect between the affirmation and our deeply held self-belief. Let's say, for instance, you repeatedly affirm, "I am successful and confident," but deep down, you harbor self-doubt and insecurities. This disconnection often arises from long-established negative self-belief systems and self-talk. Let's say, for instance, you repeatedly affirm, "I am successful and confident," but deep down, you harbor self-doubt and insecurities. This disconnection often arises from long-established negative self-talk. These create strong neural pathways in our brains. So using affirmations, we're attempting to create new positive pathways. To do this, we need to actively work on challenging our old beliefs and replacing them with new ones. This requires us to take time to reflect on why we have these negative beliefs and to actively work on replacing them with positive new ones. It also requires us to actively practice and repeat our affirmations until they become ingrained in our minds and our behavior. This process is akin to repaving a road with new asphalt. Even though the old road may have been cracked and bumpy, you can't just leave it as it is. You need to break it up and take the time to lay down fresh asphalt if you want a smooth ride. Similarly, we can't just leave our old beliefs as they are. We must break them up and actively replace them with new ones if we want a brighter outlook of life. To make affirmations work for you, choose statements that genuinely resonate and evoke positive emotions. Gradually move from a negative self-belief to a neutral or positive one. This can mean shifting from, I am terrible at this, to I'm getting better every day. Finally, manifesting. A common hurdle here is doubt or disbelief in our ability to shape our reality. Perhaps you've tried to manifest a career change only to be met with what seems like failure. This often arises from a misunderstanding of the process and underestimating the role our subconscious mind plays in manifesting. Remember, manifestation isn't just about wanting something, it's about aligning our whole self. That's our thoughts, that's our emotions, and that's our actions with our desired outcome. So they all need to be in alignment. It's about aligning our whole self, thoughts, emotions, and actions with our desired outcome. For instance, if you want to manifest a new job, you need to not only think, I want a new job, but also feel the passion and excitement of holding a new role. And take committed actions such as searching job openings and going on interviews and updating your resume. As Dale Carnegie once said, it isn't what you have or who you are or where you are or what you are doing that makes you happy or unhappy. It's what you think about it. Now that's deep. To enhance our manifestation practice, visualization exercise can be an incredibly effective tool. Picture your desired outcome as clearly as possible and try to summon the emotions you'll feel. It's worth remembering, friends, that these challenges are not roadblocks, but stepping stones on our spiritual journey. They are opportunities for growth and learning. Okay guys, it's time to get some practical strategies and exercises to overcome the challenges we discussed earlier. Not only will we explore how to implement these strategies, but also the potential benefits they can have on your spiritual resilience and discipline. We'll be looking at ways to stay focused and motivated no matter what life throws at you. With the right tools and mindset, you can live a life full of resilience, joy, and purpose. One practical exercise for overcoming challenges and building spiritual resistance is daily gratitude. I know, it's so simple. Every day, write down 3 things that you're grateful for, or say them out loud, or just think them. These could be simple things like a delicious cup of coffee, or a phone call with a friend, or perhaps a beautiful sunset. This practice helps you shift your focus from negativity or despair towards appreciation, strengthening your resilience. Think of it as a shield, protecting your inner peace from the onslaught of daily stresses and strains. Over time, this practice can help you find more joy in life and develop a positive outlook. It's also a way to reconnect with what matters most to you and focus on what you have rather than what you lack. When I was still learning about managing my business accounts, I remember a moment. As a result of a mistake on my business taxes, I received a substantial tax bill for more than $10,000. Oh my God, my emotions were dominated by fear, anger, sadness, despair, stupidity. And it normally would have taken me months before I could really wrap my emotions around this era and move on so that I could actually work on it and get rid of this problem. But I'm grateful that my gratitude enabled me to come to terms with this massive bill that same day. Now, it wasn't immediate. It took a couple of hours, but I was really able to search within myself and find some gratitude in there. What is the good part? What is the silver lining? So it took a little while, but I was able to really come to terms with it so I can tackle that. And the experience is similar to that of someone trying to lift a heavy object. It's too much for them to manage on their own, but with the help of a friend, they're able to navigate the challenges. And so gratitude helps to lift that weight. And when I was able to do that, it just made the entire experience so much easier to process. So keep that in mind. Gratitude, 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 gratitude. There is something to be grateful for. There is something that you can find to be happy about. There is some sort of benefit that will come out of the mess that was created. So know that, believe that, and challenge yourself to find that in every situation and every day. Now, for maintaining discipline, the 2-minute rule can be a game changer, right? The principle is simple. If a task takes 2 minutes or less, do it immediately. That's it. This is especially useful for tasks related to your spiritual practice, like setting up a meditation space or reading a daily inspirational quote. By accomplishing these small tasks, you're building momentum and strengthening your discipline muscles. It's like lubricating a rusty bicycle chain. It helps discipline wheels turn smoothly. I like that. By breaking down tasks into small, manageable steps, it is much easier to take action and start seeing results. The 2-minute rule allows us to focus on the small wins and build up larger ones. This helps us to create a sense of progress and reinforces our motivation, leading to greater discipline. This is the key to success. Small steps that lead to big accomplishments. Taking on too much can be overwhelming, but taking small steps can create lasting positive habits. This leads to more discipline and better results in the long run. Okay, so it's really important to remember that discipline doesn't build overnight. It's a muscle you train, a skill you hone with regular practice. If you're serious about spiritual growth, discipline is your unwavering ally. It is the steadfast beacon that lights your path when motivation flickers and wanes, because it will. It's normal. You're not doing anything wrong, but it's normal. See, the journey towards spiritual resilience isn't always filled with aha moments or transcendental revelations. There are days when it feels like a grind, when you're moving mountains with each step, when it's agonizing and you hate it and you don't want to get out of bed and you don't feel like it. That's normal. You'll face resistance from within and without. Your old patterns and habits will call you back in. They will lure you in. But it's during these times that discipline becomes the torchbearer. And this is why the 2-minute rule truly is important. Why it shines. Say you're feeling particularly low one day, and meditation, which usually brings you peace, seems like a mammoth of a task. Like you are ultra tired, you don't have the time, you don't have the motivation, you are over it, right? Instead of skipping it entirely, just commit to 2 minutes. Set your space, light the candle, and just sit in silence and breathe. That's it. That's all it takes. This seemingly small act is a powerful affirmation to your subconscious mind that you're committed to your spiritual practice, no matter the circumstances. You're essentially telling your brain, yes, even on my worst days, I won't compromise on my spiritual growth. Over time, these 2-minute actions will create a ripple effect. You're not just reading an inspirational quote, you're nurturing a positive mindset. You're not merely setting up meditation space, you're creating a sacred sanctuary for your inner peace. Each action is a building block, fortifying your fortress of spiritual discipline. And here's my thing. my friend, you've got to be honest with yourself. You've got to call yourself out on excuses, procrastination, and resistance. The biggest obstacle on your spiritual journey isn't a lack of time or resources. It's a lack of discipline. So don't let the simplicity of the 2-minute rule fool you. It's a potent tool to kickstart your journey towards greater spiritual discipline. Start small, but stay consistent. You'll be surprised at the momentum you'll build and the progress you'll make. Here's the challenge for you. Identify one small action related to your spiritual practice that you can do in 2 minutes or less. Then do it every single day. No excuses. Remember, this isn't about performing a task. It's about making a commitment to yourself and to your spiritual discipline. In the grand scheme of your spiritual journey, these 2-minute actions might seem insignificant, but let me assure you they are not. They are the stepping stones to leading you towards a more disciplined, resilient, and ultimately fulfilling spiritual life. So start today. Start right now. You got this. Let's get into affirmations. By creating personalized affirmations, you can overcome challenges. Affirmations can help you achieve your aspirations and help you improve yourself instead of using generic phrases. Ideally, repeat them in front of a mirror every day. Essentially, this is the same as planting seeds in a garden. When nurtured consistently, these seeds will grow into strong, confident plants of positivity and self-belief. That's it. That's right. Positive, personalized affirmations are truly a game changer in your spiritual journey. They are powerful tools for transformation, steering your subconscious mind towards positive, empowering beliefs. Just like planting seeds in a garden, you are planting seeds of positivity and self-belief in the fertile soil of your mind. Listen to it again if you need to. You see, our minds are incredibly receptive. They soak up whatever we feed them. When you repeat affirmations, you're feeding your mind with positivity and empowering thoughts. You are essentially telling your subconscious, this is who I am. This is my truth. With regular practice, these affirmations become deeply rooted beliefs, guiding your thoughts, actions, and behaviors. Now, let's dive a little bit deeper and discuss how to correctly say affirmations. When you voice your affirmation, it's important to say them with conviction. Don't repeat them mindlessly. Instead, imbue each word with emotion and intent. Feel the energy of the words as you say them. Visualize them as your current reality, not just a future aspiration. This emotional engagement amplifies the impact of your affirmations and accelerate their manifestation. Personalized affirmations are truly transformative. Start by identifying an area in your life or a trait you'll like to improve on. Next, form a positive present tense statement affirming your improvement in this area. Remember, it's vital to phrase it positively. Instead of saying, I'm not afraid, say, I am courageous. The subconscious mind doesn't recognize negatives, so phrase your affirmation in a way that directly imprints the desired outcome. Now let's bring the chakras into the mix. Each chakra or energy center in your body corresponds to different aspects of your being. When you align your affirmations with your chakras, you're not just changing your mindset, you are balancing your energy system, which can have profound effects on your overall well-being. So starting from the root chakra, you might say, I am grounded, I am safe, and I am secure. For your sacral chakra, you might say, I feel creative. I feel passion. I am passionate. For the solar plexus, you could say, I do take actions that align with my highest good. For the heart chakra, you may say, I am love. I am love. I love deeply. For the throat chakra, you might want to speak, I speak my truth with clarity. I speak my truth with confidence. For the third eye, you can say, I see the truth in all situations. And finally, for the crown chakra, you can say, I know that I am one with all that is. That's deep, it's powerful. Repeating these affirmations daily, especially in front of a mirror, intensifies their potency. You're not just hearing the words, you're seeing yourself saying them, reinforcing their truth in your mind. Over time, these affirmations help to align your chakras, boost your energy, and drastically shift your mindset. Here's another example centered around one topic. For example, if you want to boost your confidence, affirmations can certainly be tailored to a specific theme or intention, such as self-confidence. Here are some affirmations for each chakra, starting from the root and ascending up. I am resilient, strong, and grounded. My foundation is secure. I am resilient, strong, and grounded. My foundation is secure. I feel creative and full of potential. I am worthy of experiencing joy and pleasure. I do actions that align with my personal power. I confidently express my authentic self. I love who I am, and I am proud of the person I have become. My heart is open to giving and receiving love. I speak my truth confidently and clearly. My voice is valuable and deserves to be heard. I see my worth and potential clearly. I trust my intuition to guide me. I know I am a powerful, confident, and divine being. I am connected to a limitless source of inner strength. So by repeating these chakra-based affirmations, you're not only raising your self-confidence, but also aligning and balancing your energy centers. As you say each affirmation, visualize the associated chakra glowing with vibrant colors, spinning harmoniously and exuding energy. This imagery can strengthen the impact of the affirmations and bring a deeper sense of balance and confidence. So, family, I encourage you to try this technique. Create your personalized affirmations, align them with your chakras, and repeat them daily. You're not just changing your thoughts, you're changing your life. Believe in the power of affirmations. They truly are a game changer in your spiritual journey when done correctly. It has changed my life. So, spend a few minutes each day vividly imagining your desired outcome, involving all your senses. This exercise aligns your subconscious with your conscious desires, acting as a magnet to attract those outcomes. Consider it like tuning your life's radio to the frequency of your desires. Visualization is one of the most potent tools we possess in our journey for personal and spiritual development. It's the act of creating mental images, indulging all our senses to experience, quote unquote, our desired outcomes before they have materialized in the physical world. Consider your mind as an artist's canvas. You have the freedom to create any masterpiece you desire with no limitations. If you want to manifest a new car, don't just see it. Feel the smooth leather seats as you slide into the driver's seat. Hear the purr of the engine as you ignite it. Smell the new car scent. Taste the celebratory coffee you will sip on the drive home. Make it so real that your subconscious mind struggles to tell the difference between reality and imagination. So advanced visualization takes it further. Create a sacred space that supports your visualization process. You might play music that aligns with your intention. You might play music that aligns with your intentions, such as classical music for peace, or lively music for something more energetic. Incense, candles, essential oils, they all can help as well. If you're manifesting a beach vacation, try burning a coconut scented candle or play ocean waves in the background. The smell will transport your senses to a sunny beach, making your visualization more potent. Another technique is acting as if. If you want a new car, go for a test drive. Feel the thrill as you take corners and the wind as you drive with the windows down. This experience isn't just imagining, it's experiencing your manifestation, bringing it a step closer to reality. And just to take a note, you notice that it's about mindset. Okay? It's all about mindset. So moving on. Plan an expensive vacation. Research the sites, the hotel, the food, how much it's going to be, how you're going to get there. Find a photographer, even if you're not ready to book. This process makes your intention more tangible, amplifying your visualization, power. Remember, be as playful and as childlike as you can. Now, I don't know if my audience has ever listened to Brother Panic, but he talks about the child all the time. So check out some of his videos. When you're being creative in a childlike manner, it's so magical. It just opens you up because as adults, we're often restricted by our imagination. We're bound by everyday realities, but with visualization, it's your safe space, your dreamland. Here, you are free to want what you want, no matter how grand or impossible it may seem. Visualization is not just daydreaming. It's an intentional practice that aligns your energy with that of the universe. It's tuning your life's radio to the frequency of your desires. So dream boldly, dream vividly, and watch as your dreams manifest into reality. It takes practice, but be persistent. Don't give up. You got this. So consider each of these exercises as keys that unlock a more resilient, disciplined, and fulfilled version of you. Each one has the potential to transform your life, provided you commit to regular practice. They bolster your spiritual resilience, fortify your discipline, enrich your affirmations, and enhance your manifestation process, aligning you more closely with your deepest desires. Let's make these benefits come alive with some real-world examples. First, let's talk about Mike. He's a hard-pressed businessman burdened by work-related stress. He lived on the edge, always a hair's breadth away from being overwhelmed. When he discovered the art of gratitude and started practicing it daily, his perspective transformed. Gratitude became his oasis of calm amidst a sandstorm of stress. It served as a reminder of the blessings he often overlooked in his busy life. As he dove deeper into his practice, he also started incorporating mindful meditation. He started to visualize his peaceful island during stressful situations. Over time, he realized he wasn't just weathering the storm, but he was learning to dance in the rain. His resilience skyrocketed, and he managed to turn adversity into opportunity. There's also Lisa. Lisa wrote in as a single mother, balancing multiple roles with an overwhelming routine. She longed for spiritual discipline, but time seemed elusive. The introduction of the 2-minute rule was a game changer. She would use spare moments to do quick grounding exercises or to breathe deeply, adding up to a significant positive impact over time. Lisa also started journaling, etching out her thoughts, her fears, and aspirations onto paper. It was like weaving a safety net. It caught her when she felt like she was falling, giving her a tangible way to express and manage her emotions. As she got better at juggling her responsibilities, she realized that discipline wasn't about grand gestures. Like we were saying, it was about the small, consistent steps that created a rhythmic dance of spiritual practice. That was so poetic. These stories illustrate the transformational power of consistent spiritual practices. And let's not forget community involvement, finding like-minded individuals who can offer support, share their experiences, and help you grow. Okay, so family, before we move forward, I wanted to address spiritual discernment. It's a part of every aspect of our spiritual journey and personal development, really. Everything we encounter on this journey is not going to quote unquote make sense or be logical by physical measurements. This is what makes building spiritual discernment so important. Spiritual discernment, the inner compass, guides you on this journey of affirmations and visualizations. It's the silent yet profound voice within you, navigating you towards actions that align with your spiritual path and steering you away from distractions. This voice or prompting is the key to unlocking your highest potential. It's a lot of keys. Understand that. Listen to it and allow it to be your guide in life. Take the time to reflect on its messages and use its wisdom to create the life that you want. I wanted to get a little personal and share a small chapter of my life with you. So for me, it was a time when my confidence was at its lowest and rejection felt like my constant companion. I had just gone through a separation and my self-image was, to say the least, shattered. I questioned my worth and doubted if I would ever find happiness or love again. I knew I needed to make a change if I wanted to get out of this depression, this funk, this despair. I decided to focus on the things I could control, like taking care of my health and learning new skills. With time, I found the strength to pick myself up and rebuild my life. During that challenging time, affirmations and visualizations became my emergency life raft. At first, I was skeptical, but I was desperate for change, desperate to reclaim my life. So I tried it. I started to practice affirmations and visualizations every day. And it made a huge difference. If I forgot, I would stop what I was doing, excuse myself, go to the bathroom, whatever I needed to do to make it happen, because I was committed. I needed to change. I needed to have a brighter outlook. And it worked. I started to practice affirmations and visualizations every day, and it made a huge difference. My outlook changed and I was able to make changes that I never thought were possible. And now I'm living a better life than what I thought was ever possible for me. I started creating affirmations that resonated with my healing journey. Phrases like, I am worthy of love. I embrace change and growth. My past does not define me. They became my daily mantras. I would stand in front of the mirror every morning while I brushed my teeth, put on my makeup, and I would look myself in the eye and repeat these affirmations and convictions. I would even write them on my mirror with a permanent marker. It felt awkward at first, no lie, like I was trying to convince myself of something unbelievable. But over time, something's shifted. I don't even know what it was, but those words, they were once empty and they actually started to feel truthful. I think because I started to take actions that supported those affirmations and results started to come in. And that enhanced it, that supported the affirmation that I was saying to myself. But simultaneously, I would incorporate visualizations into my routine. That's what actually made it easier to take actions. I began picturing a stronger, more resilient version of myself, someone who was no longer defined by her past, but by her strength, by her capacity to love, her capacity to grow, her capacity to forgive. I saw myself not just surviving, but thriving, being a beacon of light for others that may be going through these similar challenges. So these practices became my daily spiritual disciplines. They helped me rebuild my confidence, overcome that paralyzing fear of rejection, and allowed me to construct a more positive self-image. not one of a separated, soon to be divorced woman, but one of a resilient woman. I took my newfound strength and used it to propel me into a new stage of life. I made new decisions. I started to take new risks that I honestly wouldn't have taken before. I chose to be the architect of my future. And I'm proud of the person that I'm becoming because it is a daily process and it's not over for me. I do realize now that through my spiritual discipline, I found the courage to take charge of my life. I'm grateful for the lessons that I've learned and for the strength I've gained. And by continuing to practice these disciplines, I know I will be able to achieve anything that I set my mind to. And today, I discuss these concepts with others. My experiences allow me to do so with genuine empathy and understanding. I can testify to their power because I have lived through it. I am living proof that you can rise above adversity, turn your life around. I did not have any type of unusual experience, and it definitely wasn't the worst of what could have happened to me. So to anyone listening who's living through a tough time, remember this: you are stronger than you think. And with the right tools, you can reclaim your power, rebuild your life, and indeed live beyond boundaries. So I am super excited because we got our first question. It was actually from one of my clients, but she wants to be anonymous. And so I understand. But I'm going to read what she wrote in. It says, "Hello, Nadira and team of Live Beyond Boundaries. I am a listener of your podcast and truly appreciate the wisdom you've shared. Recently, I revisited your episode on intuition, and it really struck a chord with me. However, there is one aspect that I am struggling with, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I've started to be more aware of my intuitive instincts, trying to listen to them more. I've been meditating and journaling regularly, and I've noticed that there are certain feelings or thoughts that seem to come from a deeper, more intuitive place. While this realization is exciting, it's also incredibly terrifying. I'm finding that as soon as I consider acting on these instincts, I'm hit with an almost paralyzing fear. It's as if a part of me is afraid of what might happen if I trust this quote unquote unknown source of wisdom. I would love to hear your thoughts on how to navigate this fear. How can one build confidence in their intuitive instincts, especially when they are new to this journey and are yet to see concrete proof of their intuition's accuracy? I understand that this journey is different for everyone, but any guidance or strategies to overcome this hurdle would be highly appreciated. Looking forward to your insights." So, listener, thank you so much for sending in that question. I really appreciate it. It really makes me feel like I'm doing something important that people need. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate you so much. I love you so much. So I really want to keep it simple because I think this is actually going to be an entire episode coming up. I don't know if it's going to be the next episode or the one after. But this is an amazing question. So first, my friend, my soul family, I would say journal this paralyzing fear. So after you come out of session and you've experienced this, write it down. Write your experience down. Recount as much of it as you can. And then ask your spirit team, your angels, God, the universe, whomever you seek guidance from, to reveal to you what is at the core of this paralyzing fear. What has triggered this? What experience did I go through for this to happen? And sit with those emotions and ask them any questions that come to you. Write them down, but ask any questions that may come to you. And trust your instinct. Any memories that come up, any scenarios that come up that you don't remember, but this whole scenario has popped up in your head, I'm not saying take it at 100% value, but jot it down. It may be significant. Trust your instincts. This is called shadow work, actually. And as I said, we're going to do a whole episode about shadow work, what it is, how to do it, what it's good for, all of that good juicy stuff. But that's what I would advise you to do at this point. Really sit down and analyze that feeling, where it's coming from, and then you'll start to learn how to accept it, how to integrate it, how to balance it, and all of that. And that's really beautiful. Okay, so family, as we come to the conclusion of our enlightening episode, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've embarked on today. We dived deeply into the transformative realms of spiritual resilience, discipline, the power of affirmations, and the magic of manifestations. Together, we navigated through the common hurdles that each one of us encounters on our spiritual odyssey. I offered pragmatic, actionable strategies to transcend, to ascend these challenges. And I really want you to remember that spiritual resilience and discipline are two complementary aspects of the brilliant gem that is spiritual growth. Resilience is our innate ability to rebound from adversity, to soar like a phoenix from the ashes of trials, and discipline is our unwavering anchor that helps us maintain our course. Even when life's gales challenge our stability, affirmations serve as our guiding light on this journey, grounding us in the right mindset and empowering ourselves. And manifestation is our ultimate destination. The tangible outcomes of our journey born from an effective marriage of resilience, discipline, and affirmations. With the right combination of resilience, discipline, and affirmations, we can weather any storm and reach any destination. We achieve our goals no matter how distant they may seem. The only limitation is ourselves. So as we close this episode, I wish to share a thought, an affirmation to illuminate your week. And that is, I am a vessel of strength and serenity. I perceive challenges as stepping stones to growth. Hold this affirmation like a precious talisman. Repeat it daily. Visualize it materializing in your life, and witness its transformative power radiating through your existence. As we usher in our next episode, we will venture into the intriguing realm of the shadow self, triggered by that insightful inquiry from one of our listeners. We'll discuss how embracing and understanding our shadow self can usher in profound personal growth and liberation. I invite you to ignite your torch of curiosity and join us as we journey into this often overlooked facet of our psyche. I highly encourage you, our treasured listeners, our soul family, to contribute your inquiries, reflections, or personal narratives associated with the shadow self. Your insights making this shared journey more profound and meaningful. We are also open to any creative work such as poetry, art, and music that explores this theme. We are eager to hear your stories and be a part of your journey. Thank you for your willingness to share. Until we meet again, continue pushing your boundaries, continue growing, and remember, every challenge you overcome is but a stepping stone on your pilgrimage to spiritual enlightenment. This is Nadira's Soul Family, your guide on Live Beyond Boundaries, Unlock Your Energy, bidding you farewell for now. Peace, stay strong, stay resilient, and most importantly, stay blessed.